Justin, thank you very much. How about Chris Coons? You gotta believe. How about we do this? On this side, I want you folks, when I point over this way, to say Chris. From here over, I want you to say Coons when I point to you, right? Chris. Coons. Chris. Coons. Chris. Coons. Chris. Coons. Chris. Coons. Chris. Coons. You gotta believe. You gotta believe. Chris Coons. I tell people, I've known Chris and Annie for a long time and the kids. And I tell people, you know, Chris mentioned how difficult it is to run against somebody like Mike Castro. People know, they respect, they may not know his voting record, and we can talk about that later. But I tell people, once you hear Chris Coons talk about the differences between him and Mike, you're going to vote for Chris Coons. What do you think? You're going to vote for Chris Coons? And it is so great to be on this ticket with Chris at the top and all the candidates we have all the way to the bottom. It really is a great ticket, but we need all your help. It's a great team. The last time I was here on this stage, do you remember that? Yeah. Not just a couple minutes ago with my food tray. But it was a time when Senator Carper called me up here as well. And he called my friend Jack Markell up here as well. And if you remember, we were running against each other in a pretty difficult prize. Anybody remember that? That wasn't much fun, was it? No. You know what's great tonight? I stand up here before all of you, and guess what? We're all on the same team once again. We are all on the same team once again. And if you remember that night, we both promised whoever was going to win that election, I don't know, a week or two later, that we would support the winner. And that's what we did. Isn't it? That's what we did. And we have... And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It was easy because of Jack and such a great leader that he is, and he's become a great governor. But it's difficult when you lose, and I can tell you that. We have a couple primaries going on right now. That's why I raised this point with some very, very good candidates. Very, very good candidates. Well, on September the 12th, no, 14th, something like that. That's what happens when you don't have a primary. On September the 15th, we're all on the same team again, right? We're all on the same team again. You know, after they vote on the 14th and then the 15th, you know, give everybody the night to get over with. I want to tell two quick stories, and then I want to ask you to do one thing, and then I'm going to sit down. I've been campaigning now up and down the state with Chris and others for over a year. And I've basically been spending my time talking to individual Delawareans. It is a difficult time in our state and in our country. But people are hanging tough. And we need to live up to the great things that they're doing individually as leaders. Two quick stories. This week I was knocking on doors up state, Pete Schwarzkopf and John Ackins with Mike Barbieri. And Mike Barbieri is in a difficult race running against the former Speaker of the House again. And a guy came to the door and we asked him how he was doing. He said, well, I was out for about 9 months without work. I'm an electrician at Local 313. And then I got a job, and so I ran out of benefits. And times were really difficult. And then I got a job for 2 or 3 more months and qualified again to get unemployment when he lost that job. He is not sitting home, as those on the other side, or the Republicans want to say, because he doesn't want to go back to work. And that's what my opponents think the people who are out of work are doing. Sitting home, collecting unemployment. The thing that separates us from the other team at this point is just that one vote, and Chris talked about it. Too often people in Washington, D.C., and Senator Carper and Senator Kaufman know this, are motivated more because of the own political advantage of the party as opposed to what's best for the people and for our nation. And the vote on the extension of unemployment benefits was a perfect example of that. The Republicans said no, as they have for everything else, just because they thought it was their own political advantage. And I know, like the gentleman I met the other night, there were people out there dying to go back to work. And I talked to a small business leader the other day, about a month ago, I guess it was, and he told me business was going bad for a couple months. And his employees came to him. They knew the times were tough. And they said, we know things are not going well. We know that you may have to lay some of us off. But we, as a group, are saying, we will take a 20% cut in pay so that you don't have to lay any of us off. And he was just amazed about the willingness of his employees to pull together for one another. That's the way we are as Democrats. We are not motivated, and we don't try to motivate by fear and anger. We try to motivate folks and our voters to bring people together to do what's right for our country and our state. And that's why we're Democrats. I was talking to a lady over here, and she was telling me the difference that she saw between Chris and Mike Castle, and how Mike Castle was a moderate Republican, blah, 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 and how he voted with the Republicans lately since he's running for Senate. And what she said to me, I'm interested in making sure that things get done. But when you go down to Washington, D.C., if you're lucky enough to get elected, I want you to be a Democrat. Isn't that what she said? We're all Democrats tonight, and we have a great team. And this is the kickoff. Tonight, Ruth Ann, you know this. This is the kickoff for the election season. It all starts here tonight, and it always, for me, starts in Sussex County. I learned that from our Vice President, Joe Biden. Where's Bo?
Behind you. Behind you.
Oh, he's behind me. He's speaking next. I want to tell you, isn't it great to have Bo back? Back from Iraq, back from the hospital. I mean, he's unbelievable. I discovered this. I wasn't supposed to tell this story, but I discovered this about Bo when we were going to the Delaware State Fair. Everybody was eager to see Bo because he was just recently in the hospital. So Bo would say, well, you know, come on, campaign with me. And everybody come up and say, hey, Bo, how you doing? Who's this guy? It was great. I met everybody because they all wanted to see Bo and say how great it was to see him. It's great to see Bo back. It's great to have him back. I hate to say it, but it'd be great if he had an opponent, because then we know that more people would come out. That's the best way to win, though, Bo. No opponent. That's the best way to win. Being on this tremendous team with Chris and Bo and our state treasurer and auditor council all the way down to Eric Fuller and the other row officers, and that we got a great team of candidates for state representative with Pete Schwarzkopf and John Atkins. It's great to be on this team. But guess what? Our success in this election is going to be as much or more a function of all of you as it is whatever we say or do. And so tonight, I've got to ask you, this is it. This is the home stretch. We put a lot of sweat and tears and hard work into this campaign. And we can win. And it's not just about winning, as Chris pointed out. It's more about the future of our country and our state. We need your help. I know you'll be there. God bless you. All the way to November. We're going to win. The Democrats are going to win. Thank you very much. God bless you.